After studying abroad for 3 years, I finally came home, only to discover my brother and my fiancée were seeing each other behind my back. Furious, I started a massive argument with them. But then, a fire suddenly broke out in the hotel. My fiancée immediately shielded my brother and ran outside. Someone tripped me, sending my glasses crashing to the floor. Total panic. My vision blurred completely, and I was losing my mind. My parents rushed inside. I felt this huge wave of hope, but they only screamed my brother's name, and I am supposed to be their biological son. When I finally woke up in the hospital, my left hand was throbbing in pure agony, wrapped in thick bandages. After that whole fire incident, my entire family completely abandoned me. Gone. Now, I was totally alone, surrounded by 4 empty walls. Just then, coming from outside the room, I heard footsteps getting closer and closer. The hospital door swung open. "You are awake. How are you feeling right now? Does it still hurt?" A nurse walked right up and tucked a thermometer under my arm. The freezing cold made me flinch. I asked her where my family was. My voice was completely hoarse. The nurse just shrugged. She said the firefighters brought me in, and they tried calling my family multiple times, but nobody answered the phone. Hearing that, I just laughed bitterly, thinking back to everything that went down during that fire. What else was there to misunderstand? I turned my head and grabbed my phone. Not a single missed call. Seeing that empty screen just filled me with so much bitterness. 3 whole years. I went overseas for 3 years, and coming back, everything had changed. Why? How could things end up like this? I threw the blanket off, put the thermometer down, ripped the 4 out, and walked right out. The little nurse quickly chased after me, asking where I was going. The second I stepped out, I bumped into 2 people. Now watch this closely. Lu Nu Yen was carefully fussing over Wai Tathan, her eyes melting with absolute tenderness. Her caring words made it seem like he was the only guy left in the entire world. The very moment she saw me, she looked pretty awkward, but quickly recovered her composure. "Quack dat. Why are you out of bed?" I just stood right there, staring straight at her, demanding a real explanation. I never expected things between them to have gone this ridiculously far. Lu Nu Yen gently pulled Wai to fan back. "Quack dat. If you want to blame someone, blame me." I just could not help myself. Wai Tathan quickly grabbed her hand, saying no, it was his fault, and I could hit him. He ran up, grabbed my arm, and pressed right on the injury where I pulled the 4 out. "Quack dat. I really love her. If you want to throw punches, hit me." I laughed coldly, yanked my arm back, and punched him incredibly hard. Wai Tathan instantly hit the floor, a dark bruise forming on his lip. I looked down and told him he was absolutely right. I really should hit him. Lu Nu Yen caught him looking totally heartbroken. She glared at me, full of blame, yelling out my name and asking what I was doing. I clenched my fists tight, the wound on my hand acting up again. Lu Nu Yen raised her voice. "You went abroad for 3 years. We barely saw each other, so breaking up is totally normal." "Oh really? Is that why you shifted your feelings to Wai Tathan? He is my parents' adopted son, and you still went after him?" I was right there at the scene, but you only protected him and left me behind in that fire. Did you even think about me at all? No. Lu Nu Yen was completely speechless. Wai Tathan sadly muttered that it was his fault. I turned to her. "You are free to change your feelings, but do not forget what you actually owe me. Pay it all back right now." Lu Nu Yen turned totally pale. Before going overseas, I helped her negotiate an investment deal. 5% of the shares, written out clearly in black and white. But up till now, she has not paid me a single dime. I cannot trust women anymore, but I am definitely getting my money back. Wai Tathan realized this and instantly put on this tragic tone. "Quack dat. We are all family here. Why do you have to be so absolutely heartless? Nu Yen has been working so incredibly hard lately. Aren't you being way too cruel here?" I let out a cold laugh. "Wai Tathan, you stole your younger brother's fiancée. You did that and you still have the nerve to call me cruel?" The hospital hallway was packed with patients watching the drama. Hearing me say that, Wai Tathan instantly turned pale. Lu Nu Yen pulled at me. "Quack dat. Can we please talk in private?" I raised my hand and slapped her right across the face. "Return my money within 1 week. Otherwise, do not blame me for playing dirty. Now get out of my sight. Do not make me look at you anymore." Lu Nu Yen held her red and swollen cheek, wanting to say something, but Wai Tathan weakly clutched his chest and hurriedly pulled her away, making sure to throw a threat back at me. "If anything happens to Nu Yen, I will not let you off." I was so furious, I was basically fuming, and stormed back into my room. The nurse followed, telling me to stop overthinking since I was still healing. You see how crazy this is, right? It was absolutely hilarious. I almost lost my life there yet. Not a single person in my family, from my lover to my own family members, cared about my injuries at all. Instead, a total stranger, like this nurse, was the one worrying about me. I nodded, deciding to contact my lawyer. During my 3 years abroad, my family kept in touch with me, but never once mentioned any of this. Now, seeing it with my own eyes, I have to make my own plans. After some time, under observation, I finally left the hospital and headed home. Arriving there, I saw Lu Nu Yen's car parked at the gate. Walking inside, my whole family was sitting with their backs to me. Wai Than sat right between my parents, whining, "Mom, what if Kwok Dat comes home and causes a scene? I am so scared. He will do something crazy." My mom just smiled brightly. "He won't. If he doesn't listen, we will just send him abroad again." Lu Nu Yen chimed right in. "He actually wants his old dividend money back." "On what grounds?" My mom instantly got completely worked up. "Why does he even need that much money anyway?" I just found it hilarious and cut right in. "Because it is my money, of course, I am taking it back." My sudden voice made everyone jump. I turn around, and my mom instantly panics. "Kyuk T, when did you get back? Why didn't you say anything?" I just heard her say, "She just sent me abroad again." Well, if I'm actually leaving, I need cash, so I'm taking back exactly what belongs to me. Lu Nhyn, are you here to snitch or just plotting against me? I give a cold laugh and step inside. My dad instantly blows up. "Listen to yourself. Plotting what? We're all one family here. There's no difference between us." I stare back, totally ice cold. "Oh, no difference? So brothers can just share the exact same woman? Are all the women in the world gone? Why does he absolutely need to have her?" YTNH looks at me with this fake heartbreak. My mom rushes over to protect him. "Kyuk T, what is this attitude? You left the country for 3 whole years. You abandoned your love for your career, and now you're blaming your brother? How did I raise such an incredibly ungrateful kid?" My dad gets even more furious, pointing a finger right in my face. "Since you were little, you always had to be the strongest, fighting for absolutely everything. Lu Nhyn's family didn't approve of you two being together, so I made the call to let YTNH take your place. Our families have an agreement now. Don't say another word." He talks like he's just buying vegetables at some local market. Their blatant favoritism pushes me right back down to rock bottom, so I don't hold back at all. I call them out. They didn't approve. They didn't mind when they were gladly taking my investment money. Funny how they suddenly approved the second I went abroad. Lu Nhyn, they're paying me back right now or I'm blowing this whole thing up. Let's see who really loses face here. My dad is practically foaming. A the mouth. "Kyuk T, what on earth are you doing?" He lunges forward to hit me. I step back twice and raise my left arm, demanding answers. "I'm calling out your blatant bias. I got badly injured in that fire. Did anyone in this house even care about me?" My mom looks a little guilty. "Kyuk T, we made a mistake, but you're perfectly fine. YTN's health is much weaker than ours. We just couldn't pay attention to everything." YTNH gets all teary-eyed. "Kyuk T, we've competed since we were little kids. You always had to be the absolute best. But love isn't a competition. Lu Nhyn and I wronged you. Whatever you want me to do to fix this, I'll do it." I give a cold smirk. "Fine, then kneel." I raise an eyebrow, staring at him, waiting for him to hit the floor. But, big surprise, he doesn't. Things get pretty awkward. I just stare him down. "If you can't do it, keep your mouth shut." Then I head upstairs. I really can't stay in this house anymore. Once I'm upstairs, my lawyer sends over some files. "For the past 3 years, Lu Nhyn's company has been doing amazing. Based on our deal, our original investment could easily pay out 20 million in pure profits. If I pull my funds now, her cash flow gets completely destroyed. She betrayed my feelings, and she's absolutely going to pay the price for it." I'm barely in my room, not even packed, when YTNH pushes the door open. The weak act, gone. He crosses his arms, looking at me with this twisted little smirk. "Now, pay close attention here. Kyuk T, don't you wonder why they favor me, even though you're the biological son?" I don't buy a single word he says. "Are you here to kneel? If not, get out." He just laughs at me in pure contempt. "Because I'm actually their real son." Hearing that, I freeze completely. Is this guy completely crazy? YTNH keeps going. "When we were little, our parents' business was just taking off. People were jealous. They were absolutely terrified I'd be kidnapped. So they lied, said I was adopted, and sent me away. To live as someone else's kid. Then they officially adopted me back. To avoid any suspicion at all, they had you. You were born just to take all the risks for me. That is the only reason you even exist. Hearing that, a massive chill runs right through me. I remember when we were in that car crash as kids. Our parents were terrified, but they only hugged YTNH, looking so incredibly relieved. Thinking back on it, was I really just born to be completely ignored? I'm their kid too. Seeing my face, YTNH steps a little closer, giving this incredibly cold laugh. Your whole existence is just a massive joke. Forget about some woman. Our parents wouldn't even hesitate to trade your entire life away and tell you to end it all for me. Believe it? Now watch what this psycho does next. He pulls a knife from his sleeve, screaming out QT, don't do it. You hate me, but please, don't come any closer. I stare at him in total confusion. What are you even doing? He suddenly slashes his own arm. Then he shoves the sharp knife into my hand and collapses on the floor. Before I can even react, our parents burst in. Seeing this, my dad absolutely loses his mind. He points right at me. You rotten brat. How dare you? My mom screams QT. Are you insane? How could you? Do this? YTNH. Does it hurt? Stop this right now. Whatever you want. Mom agrees. YTNH covers his wound, shaking his head, and looking at me with those fake hurt eyes. I am literally losing my mind with rage. In that fire, they refuse to save me. Now they fall for this trick? My dad roars QT. Get the hell out. From now on, you are never stepping foot in this house again. I just glare. At them, totally cold. So you don't even need my explanation. You just believe him, right? My mom screams back QT. What more do you want? You just got back and ruined this family's peace. Why did you even return? I'm shaking all over. It takes everything. Calm down. She's right. I was just born to take all of YTN's damage. I look straight at him. YTNH. You win. This house, it's yours. These horribly biased parents, take them. I don't need a single thing from any of you anymore. Seeing my empty, freezing stare, they all freeze. My parents are completely stunned. Silent. YTNH clutches his wound, sniffling as he says, as long as you're happy, fine. But saying that hurts mom and dad. Quack dat. Stay. You're still hurt. Then my mom immediately snaps out. Tell him to get lost. YTN. Let mom see your wound. My dad is furious. Pointing at the maids, he orders them. Don't let him take a single thing. From now on, he's no longer my son. Pushed out the door, my heart goes totally numb. From this exact moment on, I have absolutely zero ties to this family. I turn around and walk away without a single ounce of hesitation. But inside, I'm shaking. YTN was just putting on a pathetic act. And yet, my parents still shielded him completely. Maybe my existence was truly just a mistake. Standing outside, I have nowhere to go. I just got back from overseas. Besides my phone and the clothes on my back, I've got nothing. So I call up my old mentor, asking about a dorm room. 3 years ago, he pushed me to study abroad. He saw real potential in me. He said it'd be a massive waste if I didn't go. And before I even came back, he warmly invited me to jump straight into his new project. Hearing I just got kicked out, he stays quiet. A long moment passes before he finally speaks up. Quack dat, he says. Only the strong avoid being manipulated. You're a person, not a sacrifice for someone else. Come back. I'm short on people and the pay is great. I catch a cab straight to the lab. When I arrive, a young woman greets me with a bright smile. Hi, I'm Trong Thuk Tin. Professor Trong is my dad. He's in a meeting, so he told me to help you get settled first. She leads me right over to an apartment. This place is yours. Don't worry. The last tenant just moved out, and we cleaned it spotless. You just need your bags. She goes on. My dad made it clear. You're his top recommendation, and we have to keep you around. If you ever need any help, just let me know. I smile back, thanking her, and suggest we add each other on WeChat. Trong Thuk Tin immediately pulls out her phone. She adds me to her contacts. After she finally leaves, I stay in the apartment. I crash on the sofa, closing my eyes to rest. When I was little, I used to be so incredibly jealous of YTN. He could just comfortably sit on mom's lap, acting spoiled. But I couldn't. Anytime I tried to get even a little close, he'd get jealous. Pick a fight. At first, I'd cry and argue back. I thought, she's both of our moms. How could he treat me like that? But mom always said he was sickly, telling me to yield. Because he was the older brother, I always ended up backing down. One time, Than and I got into a truly massive argument. He suddenly dropped to the floor, having a seizure. Mom panicked and rushed him to the hospital. When I got home, she beat me. But then I caught Than in a corner, somewhere nobody else could see, mocking me. He was faking the whole thing. From then on, I could never get close to him again. Now that I understand the reason, it's just hilarious. Why should I use their massive mistakes to punish myself? Than is a master at faking it, so let him act for the rest of his life. Pulling myself together, I open my phone and scroll through some videos. Now check this out. I stumble onto clips of the recent fire, and looking closely, the mall security camera perfectly caught Than. He's being fiercely protected by Lu Nu Yen and my parents, shielding him from any harm. Meanwhile, I'm lying on the ground 3 meters away, staring at their silhouettes. Pure horror and absolute despair painted on my face. Down below, everyone in the comments is envying Than. He's so lucky. His family always protects him. This is exactly what kids raised in wealthy families look like. Never lacking love. So happy. Someone even drops a comment pointing out that he's actually the adopted son of the family. The whole family treats him way better than their biological kid. As the internet runs with this, Than gets more famous by the second, and he seizes the chance to post a public thank you message. Thanks for all the attention. I grew up surrounded by my parents' love. You're right, I am their adopted son. But recently, some pretty unpleasant things have been happening behind the scenes regarding my younger brother. He made a mistake and got scolded by our parents. I hope if he sees this video, he reaches out. Mom and dad still love him. Stop being so stubborn. Hearing Than spin it like I'm the totally unreasonable one. Instantly, so many people in the online community start pouring out their sympathy. Oh my god, the older brother is so incredibly kind. How could the younger one treat him like that? He ran away? We'll help find him. What did he even do wrong? Wait, how did your hand get injured? Seeing those comments roll in, Than replies, my brother cut me with a knife, but it wasn't on purpose. And this right here is where everything tips over. After Than claims I didn't mean to do it, everyone starts tearing me apart. The younger brother did that? Can't believe he'd actually lay a hand on his own sibling like that. Holding a knife at that age? Who knows what he'll do when he grows up? He's way too ruthless. Treating an adopted sibling like that? Absolutely zero conscience. I read through all those comments, just finding the whole thing incredibly hilarious. Than, if this is the endgame he really wants, I'll gladly give him a hand. I like his post and drop my own comment. My biggest mistake was being born into a family like yours. Instantly, someone replies to my comment asking, wait, are you the younger brother? What does that mean? Is this all staged? The netizens instantly turn into Sherlock Holmes, hunting me down across the web. And finally, someone claiming to be Than's college classmate spots me, pointing out that the guy lying on the floor in the video is actually me. One comment reads, Kwok Dat looks pretty badly injured here, and honestly, the whole situation just makes him seem incredibly pitiful. That older brother claims he just wants his little brother to come back and apologize. But looking at Kwok Dat's desperate eyes in that fire, I honestly feel pure chills. Still, that is absolutely zero excuse for him to pull a blade on his own flesh and blood. Is there any solid proof that he used a weapon? Exactly. Way too many plot twists. I am just not buying it. Kids fighting is mostly due to the parents lacking basic morals. Than, of course, sees all these comments and frantically starts deleting my posts. But no matter how fast he deletes, he can never erase them all. I purposely took screenshots. This video alone is totally enough to expose the real face of Than. At the exact moment the incident happened, everyone else was running for their lives. Only Than's eyes looked right at me, and he smiled so smugly. I immediately send the screenshot out. The netizens are super fast, instantly digging right back into the old photos. From the fire scene, they can clearly see Than actually spotted me trapped in the flames. Yet he just stood right there, laughing at me. Now watch the internet do its thing. A new post drops serving up fresh gossip about how the older brother took advantage of the younger one studying abroad just to hit on his fiancée. The entire family turned completely cold toward the younger brother, and even after he was severely injured and hospitalized, nobody even cared. Meanwhile, the older brother was perfectly fine, but still got pampered by everyone. Oh, and that girl apparently still owes the younger brother a ton of unpaid money. These comments completely drag Than through the mud. Not long after that, Lu Nu-yen finally speaks up. She claims there is absolutely no truth to it. She says, Kwok Dat and I broke up before he went abroad. And Wai Tathan is definitely not a homewrecker. She adds that he just isn't well liked, and his bad character is super obvious. I read those two sentences and actually burst out laughing. Lu Nu-yen and him are truly a match made in heaven. Their ability to just lie to themselves is honestly mind-blowing. Right as I am about to close out the app, I suddenly get bombarded with WeChat messages. It is Wai Tathan. He says Lu Nu-yen only posted that to save face, and even though dad kicked me out, I'm still a son of this family, and I surely wouldn't want to drag the family name down, right? I just smile and reply, are you simply afraid? Your own dirty secrets are getting exposed? Wai Tathan instantly loses his mind, threatening to call the police on me for using a knife to injure him, claiming it is the absolute truth. Good, I tell him, I will be waiting to see what you do. I reply and immediately block his number. Next comes a flood of calls from my parents. I ignore every single one and block them all, acting like I have absolutely zero ties to their toxic family anymore. If they think they can threaten me, they are dreaming. Originally, I actually thought about sitting down and talking with Lu Nu-yen just to get my money back peacefully, but I never expected her to jump online and falsely accuse me like that. Well, she asked for this. I immediately reach out to the second largest shareholder of the company and sell off every single share I own. Since Lu Nu-yen refuses to play nice, I am definitely not holding back either. The very next morning, I head straight to the lab and dive right into my new work. The next week is so insanely busy, barely have time to breathe. Every single day is just running experiments and crashing at my apartment to sleep. Occasionally I bump into Trong Thuk Tin. She is doing her PAAHDAADDDDHEHE, so her schedule is pretty packed too. Even so, she still joins our lab project, and the two of us very quickly become pretty solid working partners. Exactly 1 week later, Lu Nu-yen actually calls me. She asks Kwok Dat, can we talk? I had blocked literally everyone else in the family, leaving only her unblocked, just to see what kind of joke they would try next. Hearing her plead, I happily agree to meet. Finally, we sit down at a cafe near the university. When I get there, Lu Nu-yen is looking completely stressed out. She starts in right away. Kwok Dat, the internet stuff was not what I wanted either. You know Wai Tathan is sickly. I only did all of that just to give him a little peace of mind. I know I totally wronged you, but this company is my life's work, and yours too. If you pull your funding out right now, the entire project will be completely ruined. Can you really bear to do that? I answer bluntly, I can, and I already took my money. Lu Nu-yen is completely stunned, then gets furiously angry. She tells me this isn't some joke. I look back at her. I'm not the type to play jokes. Lu Nu-yen, you and I are not in any sort of relationship where we can joke around anymore. I already sold the shares to Director Hua, and the money is safely in my account. If there is nothing else to discuss, I am leaving. Lu Nu-yen absolutely never expected me to pull a move like this. She finally realizes that I actually deeply resent her. She calls me totally cruel. I just say we are exactly the same. If I suffer 10 times over, you are going to suffer 8. Lu Nu-yen just grits her teeth. Fine, she says. Let's see how you explain yourself to the cops. And yes, Wai Tathan actually did call the police. He even filmed a pathetic video, posting it online, crying that this time mom and dad need to teach me a serious lesson. When I get to the police station, Wai Tathan is standing proud, and my parents are right behind him. Seeing me, my mother instantly puts on her fake gentle mom act. Kwok Dat, give the money back and reinvest in the company. Nu-yen is still your fiancé. Our family really shouldn't blow things out of proportion. My dad stands right next to her, giving me that classic strict parent look. You have been abroad for 3 years, and now you think you are tough. Just admit your fault, and everything will blow over. I look at them with dead eyes. You both must have spoken completely wrong. However, this gets solved. We are doing it strictly by the law. Wai Tathan called the cops to falsely accuse me, and this time I am absolutely not letting him get away with it. You can guess what happens next. They are absolutely furious, but before they can even scream, I shove past them and walk right inside. Wai Tathan rolls up his sleeve to show off his little wound, giving me this pathetic, fake innocent look. I swear, I absolutely despise that two-faced act of his. It seriously just makes me absolutely sickening. He is a grown man, yet he spends all day pretending to be so perfectly innocent. Wai Tathan just stared at me, looking completely shocked. He asks why I would say that, claiming I really did hurt him. I just roll my eyes. Does he think the police are actual idiots? A self-inflicted wound looks completely different from an actual attack. Wai Tathan acts all heartbroken, crying out that I hate him, that I am always baselessly accusing him of putting on an act. He swears he is innocent. My mother jumps right in to defend him. She hugs Wai Tathan tightly and screams at me in anger. She says she completely regrets ever giving birth to me. I just stare back, freezing cold. She regrets it? Well, I definitely regret having her as a mother. Then I turn right to the officer. I ask him directly, since this guy filed a totally fake report to frame me, he is going to be punished, right? The officer frowns hard. No evidence means stop talking. That wound is practically healed up anyway. He warns me that an official medical check would take way too much time. I tell him straight up, no need. I have proof. Wai Tathan looks totally stunned as I pull out my phone. I play the video, and his face instantly goes ghost white. From the very start, I told everyone Wai Tathan was faking it. On that specific day, I just went upstairs to pack my things and move out. I had set up my camera just to record some final memories. I honestly never expected to catch a scene like this. My parents are standing right there, faces completely dark. They never imagined Wai Tathan would do something so twisted. But incredibly, their attitude toward me does not change at all. They yell at me for secretly filming inside the house, claiming my brother was merely joking around. I cut them off. I'm taking this all the way. No settling. Zero compromises. Wai Tathan slandered me and manipulated the internet against me. I have solid proof of everything. Even with my busy schedule, I handed every single piece of evidence over to my lawyer. Now, seeing how completely prepared I am for this fight, Wai Tathan is totally cornered. He actually looks like he might pass out. I just mock him. Is he seriously pretending to faint right now? What about his health checkup report from last month? Did he not brag about being perfectly healthy? Anyway, I am absolutely not backing down on this. My mother starts screaming my name, Kwok Dad, crying that he is my older brother. She begs me to stop. I shake my head. No way. My lawyer can handle it. The police step up and immediately arrest Wai Tathan. His crazy fans, waiting outside, suddenly rush into the room. I do not even hesitate. I broadcast the video straight to the internet. The entire online community is in massive shock again. Oh my gosh. I have never seen someone put on an act this good. No wonder Kwok Dad called him out for faking everything. Is this how he acts at home too? His life must be completely miserable dealing with that guy. But the real issue here is how incredibly biased his parents are. Watching this footage, you can finally see just how horribly his family treats him. He was totally pushed out of that house. And honestly, that is a great thing. What kind of sketchy business is his family even running to be this paranoid about getting attacked? They do not even dare to hire bodyguards. Reading all these online comments actually makes me laugh out loud. When you really think about it, it makes sense. Wai Tathan's family does not own some massive empire that anyone would ever be jealous of. I just let out a cold laugh. Not my fault. They completely shattered their own fake. Now, pay close attention to how fast this crumbles. Wai Tathan's perfect image gets completely exposed. He gets reported everywhere and faces massive lawsuits. The guy is totally ruined. With absolutely no way out, he desperately tries to force Lu Nu-yen into marrying him. Later, stepping out of the science building, spot Lu Nu-yen waiting right downstairs. She tells me she knows I am still holding onto the past. She claims she wants to crush Wai Tathan, using that to crawl back to me. She actually thinks I will agree to marry her. Before I went overseas to study, I did promise Lu Nu-yen we would get married when I return. But what in the world gives her the right to think I am still waiting around for her after everything? I absolutely lose my patience. I step right up and give her 2 massive slaps across the face. Her head whips to the side, her cheek immediately swelling up. She just takes it, saying she accepts the hits. Then she actually asks if my hand hurts. I just smile. I tell Lu Nu-yen if she lacks a mirror, go find a puddle to look at her pathetic self. She freezes. I point directly at the girls standing right behind me. Do you see them? These are my underclassmen. They are stunning, wealthy, incredibly sweet, and completely loyal. The junior girls all step forward together, hyping me up. They gush over how handsome I am, saying I look so cool and powerful standing up for myself. They call her out as the terrible ex-girlfriend, demanding to know why she is at our school. They roast her, saying a flaky girl like her could never, ever deserve a guy like Kwok Dat. Lu Nu Yen turns completely pale, then bright red. She asks if I am actually being serious right now. I tell her to just run along to. Why, to Than? A two-faced girl like her only deserves a guy like him. I warn her to stay away from me forever. Just get out. Every single time she shows her face, she is getting hit. She scrambles away in a total panic. I turn back to the girls, apologizing for using them as a human shield. I offer to buy. You can guess their reaction. The girls just giggle excitedly, promising not to interrupt my time with Senior Trong anymore. Catch you later. They cheer, running off with huge smiles on their faces. They leave me completely alone with Trong Thuk Tin. She gives me a warm smile and calls me genuinely good looking. I totally get it. She is just giving a casual compliment. I mean, I'm definitely confident enough in my own looks. But then she asks what I think about the loyalty part. Honestly, my face instantly turns bright red. She just bursts into laughter. She says, I will find out about the loyalty part later on. I'm still completely clueless about what she means by that. Since she totally helped me out big time today, she playfully demands I buy her dinner. She smoothly changes the subject, and it hits me. I am literally still standing right inside her own apartment. Treating her to a nice meal is the least I can do. Trong Thuk Tin picks out this super quiet restaurant, but incredibly, that completely shameless Lu Nu Yen actually follows us there. She refuses to leave. She just sits inside her car, staring at me through the window with this painfully desperate, affectionate look. Honestly, if this were the old me, I would have totally fallen for it. But too bad. I have absolutely zero interest in playing her pathetic little emotional manipulation games anymore. And shrimp too. If they want to stare, let them stare. Trong Thuk Tin orders sweet and sour ribs, Sichuan pork, and steamed sea bass. All dishes I absolutely love. She looks at me and explains. You came over to my house for dinner before. These are the exact dishes my mom cooked for you, and you completely cleared your plate. Right then it hits me. Professor Trong used to invite a few of us students over for dinner. Her mom always treated me incredibly well. She cooked these exact dishes for me every single time, and I never held back, eating absolutely every last bite. She was always so happy seeing me finish all her food. A really warm feeling just spreads through my chest. That meal honestly tastes amazing. Meanwhile, back at my own house, my mom only ever cooks what Wai Than likes. I never actually get my favorites. Then she speaks up. Kwok Dat, you are a genuinely good guy, so stop doubting yourself. Otherwise, people will just use this chance to drag your name through the mud. But seriously, that is not happening today. This proves everything. Trong Thuk Tin's words completely snap me out of it. She is absolutely right. I am really not doing bad at all. After this mess, I am fighting back. Plenty of people appreciate me. Why should I let these petty issues bring me down? I thank her. She waves it off. No need, Kwok Dat. We are friends. The kind who will meet at the very top. Do not let irrelevant people mess with your head. They just do not understand you. I feel a huge weight lift. I turn around, and Lu Nu Yen is already gone. She is way more fragile than I thought. After we eat, Trong Thuk Tin walks me home. But get this. My parents are waiting right by the door. Kwok Dat, I was wrong. I messed up. My mom chokes on her words, completely unable to finish her sentence. I take a very deep breath. A sharp pain suddenly hits my chest, but I push it right back down. Are you just here to defend Wai Than? Well, I am sorry, but I will not back down. My dad quickly grabs my arm, shaking his head. No, he says, I know you have suffered so much these past few years, and I already taught Wai Than a harsh lesson. Your mom came all the way here specifically to apologize. I honestly cannot help but laugh out loud. Right. How exactly did you teach him? Let me guess. You locked him in his room, or maybe you threatened to kick him out. Because if that was me, without any solid proof, you would have completely crushed me, or even thrown me in a cell. My dad instantly goes dead silent. Beside him, my mom just stands there, totally rigid. You're always like this, she snaps. Who could ever handle your attitude? We tried talking nicely, and you pull this stunt. Trong Thuk Tin steps up right behind me. Kwok Dat is a great guy, she fires back. He is mature, incredibly understanding, and brilliant. He works incredibly hard. Everyone in the lab constantly praises him. You are literally the only people blind enough to ignore how amazing he is. My dad just glares at her. Who even are you? She is Professor Trong's daughter, I reply. Hearing my professor's name, my mom instantly jumps into the conversation. Her face lights up with a fake smile. Oh, the professor's daughter, please come inside. I cut them off. Stop talking. This house actually belongs to Trong Thuk. 10. You have zero right to invite anyone in. Plus, I do not want to see your faces right now. Please leave immediately. If you refuse, I'm calling security right now. I turn to Trong Thuk 10 and thank her. She just gives a soft smile. No need to be formal. She walks upstairs with me, while security blocks my parents from following us. They stand there fuming with absolute anger. But honestly,